Oh, it didn't even... There we go. That's kind of weird. Just doing a quick audio test as we get started here. We'll be starting everything up right at 9 o'clock. Let me know, please, in the chat if you can't hear me. It's a little bit different because I don't have other people talking, so like I can't test my microphone level to make sure it doesn't sound terrible. I suppose I could just go look at the stream on my phone, but that might sound a little weird. So if people in the chat, I know you guys are hanging out, the two of you, if you guys can let me know how it sounds, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do this, and it's going to be weird. That sounds okay. Thankfully, it doesn't sound too terrible. So yeah, as we get started, just come on in, everybody. We're doing a little bit of a different kind of thing today. I'll wait for kind of some more people to join us. Hey, 5 people in the chat. Welcome, welcome. I'll wait until the sound is a little low. I can bump that up. I can fix that. How's that? A little bit better? I can increase the individual gains and stuff. That's the beauty of having a little bit more independent control. I can do a little bit of modification, but I don't want it to sound like too grainy and gross. And that's a little bit harder to do when it's just by myself. So, better, Grey Grumbler. Hope that sounds a little bit better. Yes, no, maybe. So we'll start there. Welcome to the Dean's office. No, you're not in trouble, in case you were wondering. So my camera's here, chat things, making sure the stream health is okay over there, chat right here so I can see you guys nice and easy. So yeah, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into things here. And we'll probably about the next, 2 minutes, we'll give people a little bit more time. Again, if you could just tell me, Great Grumbler in the chat or anybody, if the sound is good, just to make sure balance is right there. Should be fine with some small tweaks, but as always, we look for feedback from you guys in the chat as much as possible. So, just letting more people come and hang out. Just me today. Just me hanging out by myself. By choice, but still. I'll get started here at like 9:02. I'll do my little intro and then we'll go from there. Nice chill night. It's kind of weird talking to myself, but I talk to myself all the time when I'm doing commentary. No, I promise I'm not crazy. This is going to be real. I mean, there's 7 of you in the chat, so this is going to be a real awkward AMA if you're not asking questions in the chat. Please feel free, flood the chat with questions now. Anything that you guys want to talk about or hear me talk about, now's the time to just start throwing it into the chat, because ultimately we're just going to be hanging out here for an hour. I have a few things that I want to talk about, but mostly I just want to be chilling with you guys and answering any questions you might have. Okay, we'll wait until my clock says 9:02, give our little intro, and then we'll dig in. Hopefully the chat isn't like dead. Let me re-pop out my chat. Maybe that'll help. Maybe people have been posting things and I have no idea. Memorial cards. Yeah, those are definitely things to talk about. Sweet. Okay, the chat is working. So, 9:02. Welcome, everybody, after another long week, Force Will, to the Teacher's Lounge. Technically, we are beyond the Teacher's Lounge, and we are in the Dean's office. My name is Jeremy Franklin, and I am the creator/owner of Ruler School TCG. And I just am by myself tonight, hanging with you, the lovely community. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the Force Will Festival, just a little bit more information about it, as well as just some information and kind of history as to why it's happening. And what I think it all means, and then just answering your questions. I have a couple other things that I want to shout out while we're here, and then ultimately we're going to be answering your questions tonight. And it can be about anything. It can be Forceful related, it can be non-Forceful related. It truly is an AMA. So bring on the questions. I've got the chat pulled up. Hit me up. First off, though, before we get started, again, if you like what we're doing here on the channel and you feel like you want to support it, please consider pressing that join button down below. It's just right there, I think, if I'm looking at it correctly. It's a little white button that says join. It's $2 a month minimum, all the way up through $30 a month. And if you click on the join button, it'll describe the different tiers. You get more rewards the higher your tier is, but at the base level of just $2 a month, you get these really awesome, this badge by your name, that's a Ruler School crest. You get access to these awesome Force of Will emojis that I'm going to now spam in the chat. Little Keurig flex, along with some other ones. And the more members we get, the more of those I get to put in, that I get to create. So that's another reason to help us. And it also helps us get access to our ad revenue quicker every month. So channel memberships do a lot more than you think, because they also just mainly give us access to ad revenue more consistently. So it's a really, really big way to be able to support the channel. It's probably the most direct way, is just clicking that join button. Roderick, good to see you, bud. Roderick doing some really good stuff with his crew down in Texas. Hoping that you guys can make it up to the FOW Festival. So with that, let's talk a little bit about the FOW Festival. So for those of you who don't know, hopefully you do, because I've been talking about it enough. Let's see. We are hosting. I'm going to put up the little thing here. We are hosting a tournament. My friend Joe Carroll, who has been on the Teachers Lounge before, the ghost of Joe Carroll has been on the Teachers Lounge with us before, came to me and said, "You know what, Jeremy? We're in kind of a weird season before Worlds. We don't really have anything competitive in this meta until after Worlds. People are probably going to be hungry for it. I think with some of the connections that I have, we could easily host a pretty cool tournament. So let's try it." And Josh Patton from Rogues Guild came alongside and did it with us, and I decided to say, like, hey, if we're going to do this, I would really like to try to also kind of brand it a little bit as kind of a launching point, just to kind of help get some publicity on it. And so the Ruler School Grand FOW Festival was born. So the name comes from the fact that in Japanese schools, they have like culture festivals, sports festivals, and stuff like that. And Ruler School has always kind of been this joke that it's hidden in Japan somewhere. So you can tell from like the playmat art and stuff, like the cherry blossoms, and also just the Force of Will is a Japanese game. So I thought, why not make it the Grand Force of Will Festival? And so we had an idea to use cash as a way to draw players, and ultimately we didn't want it to be something where we were trying to make money. We're 3 dudes in the community, and we wanted to show that even we can put on a grand tournament that people are going to want to attend. Kind of as an inspiration to others to say, hey, you can make these happen. It's definitely possible. And then I am very much known among my friend group for going really hard into things once I decide to get going. So as you can see there in the top left corner of the festival image, that says over $7 grand in prizes and cash. Yeah, I have been doing Force of Will stuff for the past 4.5 years. I began in March 26th of 2015 was my very first ever Force of Will video, and I've been doing it consistently ever since, and I have made a lot of connections. And I decided, hey, if I'm going to be hosting a tournament, trying this hand at TOing, let's do it right. Let's do it big. Let's see what my connections can help me with. And that snowballed and snowballed and snowballed and snowballed and snowballed and snowballed. And now we are at over 7K in prizing. And that is playmats and promos and collectibles like the little Tread figurines and other banners and just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And, we've been hooked up by Destiny Games, who's the store who's kind of going to be vending on site. We've been hooked up by Rob, the former TO of Force of Will. We've been hooked up by Vite Ramen, which we'll talk about that again in a little bit. We've been hooked up by DKP Accessories. We've been hooked up by Court TCG, Happy Little Hug Factory, Inked Gaming, some members of the foreign Force of Will community teams, from China, from South Korea, from Europe, from France, from Malaysia, all of these kinds of things. It is going to be awesome. It is going to be a huge, huge deal. And we are taking it and we're saying, you know what, we're going to take everything we make and we're going to pump it right back into the prizing. And that means that, and the beauty is, the thing that we're most thankful for is most of the stuff that we've been given has been donated. It is honestly mostly an act of love from the community, from the connections that I've made over the years, saying, hey, we like what you do, we want to support it, donate. So with that, what that means is here. So you're going to see this. Just a quick little outline. Prizing, right? So we have the metal prize cards and the Uber prize cards and the promo dual stones. Those are from Rob. He's also hooked up with a bunch of promos as well as time spinning widgets and things like that. We have over 80 different playmats from all over Force of Will's history. Some collectible ones, some pre-release ones, some release buy a box ones, some GP ones, some ones that were made for sale, some event ones, all kinds of crazy stuff that we have available. And as well as Lightning Caves and a ton of other promos that we'll be kind of spreading around. We've also been hooked up with magnetic playmat kits from DKP Accessories. And then from my personal collection, I pulled out quite a few collectible things, including Little Dread figurines. We also have other things that we're planning on giving away, like banners, top cut promos, just all kinds of crazy stuff that we are throwing into this pot. And I'm not even done. I'm not even done. I haven't announced some stuff yet, but I'm really hoping that by the end of this week we get enough pre-registers. I'm really shooting for like 25 pre-registers by the end of this week so that we can get there. And then I do want to talk real quickly about Vibe Ramen. They reached out to me shortly around the same time that the Arizona GP took place and said, hey, we want to make a circuit. We want to replace ARG. We want to make this circuit. More information is coming soon, but essentially what it is going to be a kit ordering service, similarly to how ARG did their event kits, where stores and potentially players can order kits to run events in their area, and then those can be used to give out invites to a new Nats. Like Vite Ramen has said, like we're hosting a Nationals for Force Will. And so with that, the launch, the event, our event, the festival, is the first event that's going to have an invite. The top 8 are all going to get invites to new Nats. So that's pretty huge, and I'm really hoping that I can show you guys the playmat art here in the next couple weeks, in the next maybe week and a half, because, man, oh, it's so good. Everyone's going to be super pumped when they see that. And they're also sending pricing as well on top of it all. So, like, this is going to be an event that is like, sure, yeah, you're paying like $35 to get in, $35, 30 if you pre-order. But like, trust me, you're walking away with like $50, $60 worth of stuff. Like regardless of how you place, like you're going to be walking out with like $50 to $60 worth of stuff. And I think the more people we get, the more money we're going to pump into the prize pool. And the beauty is, because a lot of the stuff that we were given was donated, that means that it's much, much easier for us to put the cash from entries back into the prize pool, right? We said 60 people to break into 1K, but that's because we really just want to make sure we have a good buffer before we hit to that 1K, before we get our expenses covered and push to that 1K. But like, pretty much as soon as we hit that 1K, like it's gonna just be like really consecutive like money into the pot from that. So really, really, really looking forward to being able to give away a ton of money. So I'm really hoping you guys can join us for that. There's a link down below in the description, vidyagaming.com. Please consider going to go check that out and pre-registering. If you pre-register, you get a better chance of getting the mat you want because you can register for choice. And mind you, the choice option, if we have other pricing options down the road that are potentially random, if you do choice, you get choice for all of them. So just keep that in mind. It is a lot. You get a potential lot of value off of having that choice rather than being handed a random. So let's not remove my audio. So now I'm just going to go ahead and take some time. I'll answer some questions about kind of why I thought to do the tournament. But also we have some stuff in the chat, so I'm going to talk about it. So Gray Grumbler mentions memorial cards. So memorial cards have been mentioned to be these 80 cards, 80 memorials in the new set. We don't know what they are. And there was a post, apparently in the France page, that was from someone in the French team, like a comment on a thread about memorials that was from the French team, talking about memorials being PR cards from Force of Will history, like rebordered, rearted, all kinds of cool stuff. And there was a big concern about that, because also it said that, while yes, they are promos, they will not be New Frontiers playable. They will be only usable in sealed and draft. So that's what we know so far. That leads to some interesting concepts, right? I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if executed properly. If it's 1, max 2 per pack, this honestly could be pretty dope, because there's been a lot of people who have had promos that they have never been able to obtain. There were a lot of old school Resonator promos that, if rebordered, would probably have the new formatting to be on the side, which would be a big support for Wanderer play. And some people have talked about how they haven't been able to get cards for Wanderer, so that's pretty cool. It's going to make drafting and sealed a whole lot of a crazier experience, because suddenly you're drafting and playing sealed with cards that don't normally exist in the cluster, so that could be really fun. Especially if it's dual stones, like if the dual, because the other thing here, let's talk about some cards that would be dope, right? Excuse me. Cards that we never got in the United States. Italian Rulers Memoria. Okay, that's pretty dope. I'll take it. Yeah, that's fine. I would love to be able to get some of those. I mean, I have an original set. I'd love a new set. The 10 alt art promo dual stones. Yep, that sounds good. Alternating Current Crystal. That was a card that was printed only in Italy. I would love that artwork. It's a cool golem. It's a cool artwork. I would love to have it. Let's Killing Stone. Italian Killing Stone. Please. I already have a set, but I would love a new rebordered set. Like, come on, let's go. I think the thing is, even as someone who has all those cards, I'm pumped about that. Like, it has to be executed properly, though. Like, it needs to be like 1 to 2 cards per pack. Like 2 at the absolute max, but I hope only 1. If that's the case, that's really cool, because now suddenly these packs, there's a lot of people in the Forcible community who came in after Alice Cluster, who came in halfway through Lapis, who came in at Rhea Cluster, right? So they never got a chance. Lapis Darkstorm, right? There were a bunch of promos that were really, really awesome for Wanderer, like really, really dope. Like Spacetime Anomaly, come on, like that's a beautiful promo. Some people just didn't get it, and this is a chance for people to be able to get that as a little bonus when cracking open packs of the new set. So yeah, I honestly think it could be really, really good. It just has to be executed properly, and it has to be cool cards. Like, I'm about it. You know, like if they were like okay. So we don't know their capacity for being able to print rulers in packs, but like, how dope would it be if suddenly people could get friggin' Matsuri Prisias? Like, come on. Like, I've known so many people who have talked to me about trying to get my Matsuri Prisia off of me. Like, card is gorgeous. Card was only available in a $300 giant box that Ultra Pro made like 100 of them. And like, I don't know if the new print company is able to print rulers back in packs, but like, tell me you wouldn't be pumped to crack open a pack and pull a Matsuri Prisia. Can't use it in New Frontiers, but whew, dope. So I think we need to wait and see. I think it could be one way or the other. Hashtag I'm clearly a company shill, so I'm obviously going to see everything with a positive spin. But I do think that it is something that needs to be kind of watched and monitored with how it's executed. I will be the first to say that I do have a connection to the company, in a sense that I know at least some of the people who are still involved in production. They don't tell me things, but they at least hear me. And I'm always listening to the community, and I'm always trying to convey things like that. And I will say that I have messaged them saying, I believe that if they can change it, if it was not already set to be, that I believe that putting 1, maximum 2 memorials per pack is the way to go. How much influence that's going to have, who knows? But I know that they read that message, so that's something for you. Toby, am I going to have ruler school mats when I register for entry? You like the way the mat looks. We have been graced by Inked Gaming with 8 ruler school mats of the new artwork, the school gathering mat. Those are going to be randomly drawn as a giveaway, and I haven't announced that yet, but they are going to be a random drawing giveaway at the event. We have 8. We have been donated by Inked Gaming. They said, yeah, we'll make you a shipment of them. So they will be going to 8 random players at the event. So we definitely will have them. So Toby, if you want one really bad and you don't happen to get drawn, maybe you can trade one for someone who maybe doesn't like it as much or something like that. But there will be 8 available for moving in some capacity at the event. It's a great idea for the festival, but it's so hard trying to find the cards for a deck, super rares and DBV. I get it. 100%. We started making this event before we knew what was going to be going on with DBV. I totally understand it. My response to that issue is that 7K in pricing is very, very spread out. I'm personally of the opinion that I don't like the top cut to be super heavily stacked in terms of pricing versus everybody else. I want the top 8 to get pricing that nobody else gets, but I also want everybody to walk away feeling satisfied, and regardless of how well they did in terms of walking away having earned cool stuff. So as well, if you can't get DBV cards, please just come and try and have a good time and know that you're going to be rewarded just for showing up. So that's, and also, yeah, definitely, I know that we're going to have people in the community who are going to have extras that you're going to be able to potentially borrow or message. It's really just about talking to the Forcible community as a whole, and I'm sure people will let you borrow them. I'm already committed to building 4 decks for people because I'm not playing, but we can see what we can do. So even if you want to message me and say, like, hey, I might need to borrow some cards or something, please just let me know. I don't want cards. I don't want cards to be what hinders people from coming to the event. Babatunde, nobody's currently messaged me about machines, so I mean, my phone is here. I guess you're going to be messaging me in the next 30 seconds. Nobody's asked me for a machine deck yet, so there you go. Yeah, your question won't fit on YouTube. Roderick, your question, Roderick, message me your question on Facebook. We're Facebook friends. Just that'll be fine. I'll take that question for sure. Sam, 1 to 2. Let's see. 1 to 2 with very unique and easy to see borders or some way to show them would be nice to new players. Don't know that. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. From what I can tell, they are definitely going to be very different borders than normal cards. If we were to take that again, I have no information, right? But if we're trying to improvise or assume anything based on that post that we've heard, is that the memorials are going to be very, very, very clearly different. So hopefully that will look dope. I'm pumped to see what it could look like. Honestly, it could be dope. Ryan, anyone in the company mentioned a ban list in addition to the CR update? I currently have not heard anything about a ban list as it stands. I think that we're probably not going to get one with the release of set 1 of next cluster. We're probably not going to get one with with an update to the CR. And we're probably, I think at the earliest, we might see a ban list update set 3 of next cluster. I do know that there is a CR update being currently worked on. Like it actually is being made right now. That they're just working on finalizing some things and then we'll release it. It would be definitely in time. And we do have a little bit of I have connections to the head judges and the connections there, so we will make sure that we have a good a sense of what the rulings are going to be for the festival for that. So definitely going to have a CR update. I definitely don't think we're going to have a ban list. And that's because I honestly I'm not sure if there's anything that needs to be banned. This format just got ridiculously crazy. We got Isis topping, we've got Hanzo topping, we've got Arthur topping, we've got Loki topping, we've got Hanzo topping, and all they're playing very, very differently and multiple different variants and all kinds of crazy stuff. And sure, we've only seen cluster events, like our event is literally going to be the first New Frontier event. So I'm pumped to see what comes out of it, right? Because we're going to be, Adam is topping, Adam is winning. Adam Sykehart won both France and not France, Germany and the Italian one, I believe. I believe Adam Sykehart won both of them. That's the thing. The people that bunny is hopping, man. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness. Layla is still good. But Layla is definitely not the powerhouse it once was. Isis with her, like, there's a lot of things that can help it keep up. And the thing is, it's like Isis gets ramped to keep up with Layla, right? And also has Graveyard Hate. Adam is just this new 5-color good stuff control deck, which Layla can't really keep up with. Machines have Eternal for days, so if anything resolves, there's like very few things in this game that can kill a Deus Ex. Oh, sorry, no, Arthur won the event in Italy because it had the Deus Ex Machinas. You're correct, Machines won it. Sad that there still has to be a ban list, though, for Cluster. I think that Germany just chose a ban list. Definitely wasn't enforced for Italy, as far as I can tell. I wasn't aware of a ban list for there. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. Toby, I'm pumped. The new company is doing some cool things, making cards worth more going forward and stuff. Props to them. Yeah, I think I've said this before. I've said it behind the scenes, and I think I said it last week on last week's Roller School, is that it feels like the new company has accepted that they are a tier 2, tier 2.5 game, and they are now adjusting their product, and they're adjusting their packaging, and they're adjusting their approach to reflect this. Now it's about making sure that people get enough cards. The print runs are big enough, which is why you should be at least talking to your stores about pre-ordering stuff. Like, you don't even necessarily have to pay the money now, but just like committing to your store, if you have one, hey, I'm going to pay for this when it shows up. Please put in a pre-order now. There's a difference between a store pre-ordering and you pre-ordering. It's a little bit of a toss-up. So I think that you need to be pretty communicative. Yeah, I think that we're going to be fine. We're definitely going to be fine. Free my boy Lancelot. Yeah, I don't really know why they banned Lance. I don't really know why they banned Alter. I don't really know why they banned anything, to be honest. And I know that some of my friends who went were like, what? Why are we even banning these cards? But if you look at the top 4, so interestingly enough, if you look at the top 4 of Italy or of Germany in cluster with that ban list, it's Adam, Loki, Isis, and Adam topping and winning events. Like, hi, welcome to the new age. Right? I'm pumped. I'm pumped about it. And the one thing that you can expect to see on the channel is we're not going to be building the most hyper-competitive versions of these lists. We're going to be building some pretty silly jank. Like this week is Tall Tale Adam, which is the Adam package, the early game Adam package anyway, with just like all the giants, like all 5 colors of giants in the main board, and then a single copy of Neo Ragnarok in the main board, because why not? Because 5-color discards effects are funny, and that deck is hilariously fun. And I currently have a bunch of sleeved Chamimi list from Ryan Lilly. I haven't sleeved up Isis yet. That'll be coming down the pike. I have a friend who's building Hanzo. I have Lich built, and I also just built a very different take on Perfect Loki, thanks to Josh Boersma, like a dredge Perfect Loki list. Yeah, I'm also really tempted to build a very different style of Brunhild deck, but a Brunhild deck using... I'm not going to use Adam because that just feels stupid. But a very different style of Brunhild deck with Nyarlathotep. I'm talking about... I decided to call it... I'm thinking about like calling it like Burn It All, where I'm playing Brunhild, the super rare, Odin, to be able to protect... Like, it's going to be red, black, white. And the idea is to make a bajillion moons. That's the plan, right? Make a bajillion moons. Play a Nyarlathotep, and then burn you to death with Karmic Retribution. I only need 5. I only need 5 moons to kill you with Nyarlathotep and Karmic Retribution. Just saying. Like, there you go. Play Nyarl. Karmic Retribution, burn moon, burn 5, like just kill you. Just like this really stupid roundabout way of playing it. I mean, really, only 5. I mean, 5 moons is not hard to get to at all. And then I literally just need to flip Nyarl. Like, I can kill you on 4-will. Like, I just need Karmic Retribution and Nyarl with their steps. That's it. That's all I need. Then I'm done. Then you're dead. As long as you can't kill. I mean, you can kill Nyarl in response, of course. But the joke would be that we, like, when you're tapped out, we just put, okay, burn you. So keep in mind that that's going to be something that I toss into my Brunhild deck. Hooray! But like, there's so much fun stuff, and I think the focus of the channel has always been more on the fun side than the competitive. Like, we do competitive tournament reports and stuff, and here on the Teachers Lounge, we try to have the discussions about how to become competitive, and obviously the streams cover the competitive side. But the weekly feature matches are meant to be fun. They're meant to show the cards. They're meant to show the cards. They're meant to show the interactions, the silliness, the fun of deck building, and just fun of playing the game. And, you know, sometimes you also just get to haiku people, and then you're like, ha-cha, 575. And then you have a good time. So, yeah, well, I've been talking a bunch. I will see if there's any questions in the chat. If you guys have any questions for anything. I mean, like, again, it can be, oh, wait, did I get Facebook messages? Oh, I did. I got probably Roderick's question. But more questions in the chat. Feel free to shoot me those questions. Do I have all the machines? Yes. Yes, I have everything. Why does my lights keep flickering off? Intended question. Oh, man, here we go. Let's say that it's due. Oh, jeez Louise. I love this question. Let's just say, I'm reading the question and then I'll answer it. Let's just say it's Doomsday on Earth and there are 4 to 5 memorial cards in a pack and the company says they are not New Frontiers and cluster legal. Someone who's working on rebuilding a local with my friends, I think that could be confusing and disheartening. As such, I would be in favor of enforcing an in-house rule that all memorial cards are legal for tournament use. What do you think of this idea, and should other communities consider it too? Otherwise, again, this is a Doomsday analysis. I mean, like, yeah, like, if they really do decide to say, we're putting 4 to 5 cards in this pack, half the cards in this pack, and you can't use them in cluster, that means that, so the other thing is, I think we can say that that's not going to, that's not going to happen, Doomsday analysis-wise, that's probably not going to happen, if we can break down the current pack structure and known rarities. So in a Force of Will pack, as it stands right now, there's 10 cards per pack. You get a full art, which can be anything, right? So that's 9 cards that we're looking at. You usually get a base rare, 2 uncommons, and then 6 commons, right? So we are now shifting to a format where we have normal, rare, rare, super rare, and memorials, right? We don't know what foiling is going to look like. I can't imagine we go back to any kind of dual form cup foiling. But let's just take the full art slot and keep it a full art. So let's say that a full art is going to happen in that slot regardless. We got 9 cards to look at. That means we have a base rare, 1, and we need probably 6 normal rares. Sorry, 6 normal cards, right? That would leave us at a typical pack, because every pack has at least a rare in it. That would be dope. So every pack has every pack has a rare in it, rare or a super rare. It takes the slot of one or the other. So then you have 1 slot dedicated to a full art, 1 slot dedicated to a rare or a super rare, 6 slots dedicated to a normal, and then you have the 2 uncommon slots left. That would put us at 2 memorials. Just the analysis of the fact that there are 80 memorials means that it's honestly probably going to be 2 per pack. That's fair, right? But my thought is, if 8 of the 10 cards in the pack are New Frontiers playable based on current known ratios, where it's a full art, a rare or a super rare, and 6 normals, seems fine to me. It's a 4/5 of your pack is good, right? So that's my but if it comes down to absolutely like they put 4 or 5, which would be weird. Let's say they put 4, right? So we've got full art, base rare, 4 memorial, 4 normals. That seems like a really, really wonky pack. And even then, you're sitting on 6 cards that can be played in New Frontiers. Still not awful, but also at the same time, I think that I don't think it's going to be happening based on just normal pack structure. However, I think it's fine that if you feel like you need to build your community, say house ruling, this is the format we're going to play. I mean, do it, right? Just do it. Do what you got to do. I honestly think that memorials are probably just going to take the place of the uncommons, and we're just going to have a wider pool of stuff to be able to pull from. That's fine. That's fine with me. As long as I get my full arts, as long as they're a cool alternate artwork. I mean, that also means that potentially... So then here's the weirdness, right? It also means that potentially you could have regular memorials and full art memorials. So that means worst comes to worst, you have a pack that has 3 memorials because your memorial... You have 2 normal memorials and then a third full art memorial. So then you had 7 out of 10 that were New Frontiers playable and 3 that were not. But yeah, I mean, again, that's still 70% of the pack. And then you get 3 dope reprints. So really 100% of that pack is kind of stuff that you're probably going to use. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Good question, Roderick. Good question. Yokai Festival for Alice's? I mean, I'm not going to put Alice in every single deck. But, she can. She can go in every single deck. I probably should put her in one of my Epic Stories decks. But she's not... Well, she is a Wanderer, so she'll count. She'll count towards my current Epic Stories lists. Small starts lead to bigger things. Yeah, for sure. Toby, I think so. I think you're totally right. Non-New Frontier Memorial cards leaves us with just a 67-card set. Seems a little like MOA. Okay, so I would like to point out what MOA was. I think people are misconstruing, not really recognizing to themselves what MOA was. MOA was a 50-card set that was provided to stores and players in 36 count boxes. That, regardless of the number of packs you opened, regardless of foil or not, there was a grand total of 50 cards to pull from. This DBV and this new set are not MOA. Sorry, they're not. This set was a set of 50 new cards and 50 reprints. Those reprints were unfortunate for players who've been playing the game because ultimately they are cards that we have seen before, but it was still a pool of 100 cards to pull from. Half the cards were cards that we didn't want. Honestly, that's most of Force of Will cards anyway. Most Force of Will sets are about 50% dredge in terms of competitive play. So they were just even more obviously competitive play, or dredge. But it was still 100 cards to pull from. This is a 147 card set with 67 new cards and 80 memorials to pull from, right? That is 147 cards to pull from. That in 20 card boxes, 20 pack boxes. The problem with MOA was that in the span of 1 box of MOA, you pretty much walked away, 1.5 boxes of MOA, because it was only 50 cards to pull from, you walked away with about a play set of everything in box and a half. So stores got screwed, right? This is not MOA. It's definitely not. It is, yes, it is a smaller set of new cards. That is true. That is true. But it made it so new people could get said cards if memory serves. Tons of posts in the Facebook group were griping about not being able to get new players started. Back in MOA, flooded the market. I mean, it made cards worthless, so people weren't even buying boxes. So stores were losing hundreds of thousands of dollars on it. The new structure, you got to remember, we're going to 80 memorials, 67 brand new cards, plus 2 structure decks. Right, so that's something to keep in mind. The structure decks are also going to bring to it new cards. And there's going to be a structure deck released with every new set. And then, no one referred to the new set. And then this new set is 147 cards, 67 which are new. And if I'm correct in my assumption that the memorials take, the uncommon slot, that means 8 out of your 10 cards every single pack are going to be from that 67 card set. Okay, that seems pretty fine. Especially when boxes are now 20 packs per box. That means that in the span of a box, you're probably going to end up with about 40 memorials, right? 20 packs, 2 memorials per pack, right? You're going to end up with 40 memorials, and you're going to end up with 160 new cards. So an average of about 2.5. I mean, based on obviously not rares and super rares, right? Because there's only 1 per pack. But it's not MOA. It's not. I think that people need to recognize the difference in box structure plays a big deal, and that what slot the memorials are going to be printed in is also going to make a big deal. But I definitely don't think it's MOA. I don't think so. And I definitely don't think it's worth not. So I would also say, seeing the count in the starter decks, they say 8 special stones and 1 basic stone. Weird count, but there's an unnamed card. Could it be a new stone kind? Maybe. Maybe True Stone's coming back. Roderick, did you crack the code? Are we bringing a True Stone? Roderick, did you crack the code? Bringing True Stones back? I'm about it. I'm about that. Let's do it. Let's bring True Stones back. I miss those. I think that the thing with the change in box structure to 20 packs per box means that it is cheap enough now for a casual player to just buy a box. I mean, $60 to $65 is what I'm hearing is going to be the cost of a box. Probably less, maybe even $55 to $60 for a cost of 20 packs, right? Had a true magic. I know, right? Which is why Grey Grumbler, which is why we need to bring them back because I miss True Stones. But that means that stores can sell sealed product faster, which means that it is less likely to sit on the shelves, which means that it is worth their investment. MOA was Forza Will was selling like hotcakes. First 2 sets and set 3, absolutely exploding. Sealed boxes were going off the shelves faster than stores could get them, right? Then MOA hit, which was again, if all intents and purposes, was going to be this massive purging of constantly selling sealed product. Massive. It was safe, right? But it was 36 count boxes, so they were an investment to buy. And then the set was 50 cards, and people didn't need to buy sealed boxes. People didn't want to buy sealed boxes, and so people got burned. And it's very, very hard to convince someone to invest in a 36 count box if they're a casual player, regardless of game. It is hard to say, hey, you just started playing this game a week ago. Want to buy a 36 count box? Nope. I didn't start buying boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Even when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! At 24 packs a box for like 4 years. Because I just didn't because again, back then, boxes for Yu-Gi-Oh! Still are like $90, $100, $80, $90 based on the set. That's a lot to just drop casually. I did, when I played Kaijudo, I split boxes with people, split sealed boxes, because there was worth to me in doing that. But I think now with 20 count boxes, it's much, much easier for a casual player to just be like, oh yeah, I've been playing for a couple weeks. Yeah, I'll spend 60. I'll spend 60 and crack 20 packs. Let's do it. Let's go. Get some cool stuff. Box toppers. Let's go, man. That's awesome. Which then to the store means, oh, okay, I can hold this sealed product longer. I can sell this sealed product longer than just release week. And I think that that is going to be a really big positive, and again is another reason why I don't think this is MOA, because this is a set that I think is going to be sellable for a long time. M, hello. The letter M has joined us in the chat. Now that Isis can use white, what do you think of Poison Stinger, Reduction, Spiral of Chaos, or would that combo not work? Oh my goodness, Reduction! That wouldn't work. As much as I would love for that to work, sadly that doesn't work because Reduction. Oh, that really sucks. Reduction reduces their defense to 0, or to 1. I believe it reduces them to being a 0/1. And Poison Stinger deals 200 damage. And so Poison Stinger would deal them the 200. Reduction would reduce them to being a 0/1. The game would see that they have more damage than their defense, so they would immediately die. That is sad. That was almost really dope. For those of you who maybe didn't think about that, it would be the idea of, target becomes a 0/100, so they'd immediately die. So you'd ping them with Poison Stinger, make them only 100 defense, and then hit them with the Spiral of Chaos, so your opponent takes 19 damage for 2. Sadly, though, reduction plus Poison Stinger is lethal to any resonator you hit. Good idea, though. Absolutely, M. Good idea. That's some cool thinking. Babatunde, the fact that Isis has mana ramp is nuts to begin with. I mean, you're not wrong. Once again, I'm going to just randomly splash that into my Brunhild deck so that I can just kill you. Who needs Odin when I can just burn you to death? Set. Let's talk about some other fun combos that I'm very excited to try out from this set. I'm very excited to just play Berserker Chamimi. That card is just fun. I'm really pumped to swing with a bunch of Eagle Me's and then just swing sack, swing sack, swing sack, swing sack, swing sack, swing just thump, 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 thump. Willing to see if someone will build a blue-white Atom deck. So someone told me that I should have played a Diversity Town in my Giants list instead of Giants, and I said I refuse. I refuse to play Diversity Alice. I think morally it's beyond what the game is supposed to be. Personally, I don't think that it's fun to say, "Hi, I have a 25,000 strength monster kill you." No, I'm not gonna do it. But that being said, building just a pure blue-white Alice deck with Atom, without using Kaguya cancels and anything else, that could actually be a lot of fun. I saw a list that was like that in the Italy GP. I might try to do that. Doesn't have to be Diversity. You're totally right. I could build some stuff. I know the people will build it. They have every right to be able to build it. I'm choosing not to, personally, out of choice. I put a third of Brunhild in my Isis, including Spear of the Valkyries. Yeah, Dino Rush plus Bane Isis, man. It's too bad Dino Rush isn't quick cast. That'd be dope. Just playing Diversity Alice feels like Helmet Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I said, I think I think it's a little bit disrespectful. I personally find it disrespectful to do that to my opponent, so I'm not going to build it out of choice. Before True Stones, we need the other 6 sages in ruler form. Can we get a Grubalesta ruler, please? I would love a Moodstart ruler. Forget Mylest ruler. Let's go. I mean, we've seen. Let's see, Feasting and Zero have gotten them, so that leaves us with Almerius needs one. Moodstart needs one. Grubalesta needs one. Mylist needs one. And then we have Feasting. She's the 5th. So then, yeah, that would be all 6. So if someone was to show up with a diversity deck, you're going to hate them. No, that's not at all. Like, people are totally going to do that. Like, okay, let me be very, very clear. I have no problem with people building whatever the heck they want to build. I have no problem people using whatever they want to build against me. I have no problem with that. Absolutely not. I'm not going to, like, you do you, man. It's Force of Will. You enjoy your game, right? Like, we're going to enjoy it together, I hope, but you enjoy your game for sure. I just know that I wouldn't enjoy doing that to someone, so I'm not going to build it. That's what I would have to say. And yeah, for sure. Let's bring back Moodstart, man. That character got like 0 love. That character was like, "Hey, cool, I'm this mystical like queen thing," and then Dark Valentina was like, "You a slave?" And she was like, "Okay." I would also really like to see more of Lilius Petal. Like, there's so much of that man's story that we don't know, and he's not bad. He's not a bad guy. Come on, man. Like, he shows up, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, Grubalessa, you're not dead. Oh, hey, Mikage, stop. Please? Can we get, like, some backstory for friggin' cursed Lilius Petal? Poor Faber." Isis versus Alice Witch. It's like a turn 3 raise to Murderville. Dark Lapis. What is going to be the next big thing? Seems like we're going back to Regalia, but I imagine that we're probably going to do them correctly this time, which is fine. I'm totally fine with the idea of Regalia. They were just executed poorly. Lapis coming back would be dope. There's a lot of fun stuff that could come out of this next set. Knights of the Round Table. So let's talk about the things from Alice Cluster that could come back, right? One, the Sages, right? Because we're going to the world of the Sages. Ataraktia was in the world of the Sages, right? Right? No. The 6 Sages were in Grimm's world. Wait. Yeah. No. Yes. I'm a guy who knows lore. Why do I not know this? Six Sages were not in the land of the 7 Kings. Correct. They were okay. They were not in Ataraktia. So 6 Sages probably not coming back. Machines. More machines. Golems again, but this time do it right. Maybe. They're not really in the lore of Ataraktia, though. I have Ataraktia behind me, by the way. Sages were Grimm. I would like to know more about this desert over here that we never know anything about. It's never mentioned in the story, never talked about. I would love to see that. I would like to see what Priscilla was like before she actually like grew up, or maybe who's Priscilla's mom was. That'd be dope. We obviously are going to see Melgus killing Volga. That was shown in some promo artwork. Stealth could come back. Please. Stealth, please come back. I would love you to come back, please. It's my favorite mechanic in the whole game, but I would love it. Stealth could definitely come back. Knights of the Round Table are definitely coming back. I think that's pretty fair to say. We have Faria and Melgus, and they were both Knights of the Round Table. So, somebody tell Kyra and Lucas, Lancelot's probably coming back in some way. Chance standbys. Oh, man. Technically, you can still set those in New Frontiers. Okay, I'll put out a challenge. I will put out a challenge here, and you can spread it however you want. If someone wins the Grand Force of Will the Grand Foul Festival, with at least 2 cards in their, not one, one's too easy, at least 2 cards in their chance standby. Like, you have to win the match while having 2 cards face down in your chance standby. I will give them a ridiculously cool prize. Like, you have to be in the finals, be going for game, and have 2 cards in your chance standby. And then I will say, congrats, you get a special bonus prize. I will make that happen for that person, gladly. Because, man, would that be dope. In this freaking New Frontiers format that has 0 chance standbys. Yo, come on, man. Yeah, I'm going to make it a challenge. I've put out some pretty hard challenges, and no one's ever won it. No one's ever topped the GP with the draft ruler. That was a banner. That was just play Scarlet. Setting them actually makes sense. Easy. I mean, there you go. If you can win my Forcible Festival with Scarlet and you set stuff face down, bam, you get like a prize for, obviously you won with Scarlet, so good for you. And also, bam, you get friggin' a prize for having 2 face downs. The challenge has been made. Should give someone, I don't know, I like that sword too much. I would love to see my boy Grim come back for sure. I will, I'll go grab it. I don't know if anyone, like, it's been a long time, so maybe people don't remember. Please don't break anything. So first off, I'll just show a little water. For those of you who maybe didn't get to see it up close, I built some crests. I built one of each of the crests for Welser, for my Welser cosplay, and I thought those turned out pretty cool. But then, if we're talking about things we want to see come back, I want to see my boy Grim come back, because I have this thing that I made. I don't know if any of you guys can quite tell what it is. I mean, it's the Grim, the Avenger of Fairy Tales sword, because that was my first Force of Will cosplay. I still have it on display. I would love to see that guy come back. There's a lot of stuff, man, that I would love to see come back in some fashion. They never finished the 7 Luminaries. That would be dope. See some more of them. We need more Mariabella. Yes, please. Sweet. That ended up working out great. More Mariabella. That would be dope. We have a few minutes left here, so I'm just going to see if anybody has any kind of last questions. Why aren't I talking about 12 Apostles? There were 16 of them after all. Were there really 16 12 Apostles cards? That's really funny. That is very, yeah, just bring Turbo Feasting back. The best being the Nidhogg. Yeah, Nidhogg was pretty dope. There were a lot of fun decks. I used some 12 Apostles actually in my Wanderer deck. My Adelbert New Frontiers deck. There's a couple of 12 Apostles that are in color, and we use Black Gil Lapis because he's a Wanderer. There's some cuteness that we can play with that. Jeff said that he left before he left Forcible that he pitched a Vingolf 4 as a massive reprint, but all these send it energized new frame. That is the idea. Alice Origins is 67 new cards plus what Vin 4 should be. Yeah, that's quite possible. But Val's Loki, right? I don't think so. I don't think Valentina is Loki. They are the same artist. They are not the same character. I do not think so. Adelbert had such potential, but they ruined it because they didn't give him his will filtering ability on the backside. I agree, 100%. Yeah, he just he just needed to be able to play. If he could have played Wanderer for fire on the backside, it would have been so much more dope. That would have been so much more dope. I'm looking forward to hearing more, though. So, but that is going to actually do it for us here, for me here tonight. It has been absolutely wonderful engaging with all of you in the chat, talking about the festival and everything else. Again, please, 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 if you have not already, there's this info, prizing, and then the Grand Found Festival. There's a link down below to videogaming.com to go and pre-register. We would love to see you there. If we hit 60 players if we hit 60 players, we're giving away $1,000 in cash on top of all the other prizing. And as you can see, we have $7,000 worth of prizing between everything. So really would love to see you all there for that. But thank you guys again for hanging out with us. It has been great. And until next time, this has been DMO73 saying, class dismissed. Have a good week, everybody.